Well, well, well. It's been quite a few Sundays since since we have done a Sunday Sickos Spike Week draft. Time to bring it back March 3rd. And we're going to draft the big board team today. So let's just hop right into it.
Three, two, one. Liftoff.
I hope everybody is enjoying their weekend, are ready to draft some best board. Jesus, this is why we start in March because I don't know what I'm saying. It's 10 in the morning, might be 7 in the morning, depending on where you are. If you're in one of those really weird time zones, it could be any other time, right? Who's watching this at 2 in the morning? That's the true sickos. That would be the true sickos. But we're going to do a big board draft. We're going to get these Sunday streams going again mostly throughout the summer. I have some traveling plans here and there. So if I'm not doing it, we either won't be doing it or maybe Eric will be kind enough to grace us with his presence on a Sunday for those instances. But I am here today. I am here today. Ben is in the chat. Other Benjamin is in the chat. So this is the all Benjamin stream. If you're not Benjamin, you should probably leave. Kidding. But let's go ahead. Let's set the table. We got Castle Sports Talk in the draft as well. Benjamin is asking, how do we feel about our pre-combine takes? We help put some of the stars on his radar. I feel good because my pre-combine takes are not as strong and are more fluid than others. I don't take great stands. I kind of listen to people that are smarter than me, go through that process, try to figure out what I do like, what I don't like. So did I hop in the draft already? No, that's going to be in about 2 minutes. We're just setting the table right now. Not going to take as long as we usually do on some of the weekday shows. We'll be getting right into it. I'm just saying good morning to everybody right now as we get back into the Sunday Sicko streams. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rob Coakley. I am one of the two people that do a lot of the media here over at Spike Week. And you'll be seeing my beautiful, beautiful face all summer, all spring, as we draft these best ball teams. But without further ado, let's do this first. Let's start playing some music. What we do on these Sunday streams, I'm probably going to have to adjust some levels here because we have a whole new StreamYard set up. But these are kind of laid back, hang out, chat, have a good time, streams, answer some questions. This is the vibe check stream, right? Sunday morning, hang out, play a little bit of music, draft some teams. So let's go ahead. Let's get into it as we start the music here. And if it's too loud, let me know. Again, we are setting everything up as we go. This isn't going to do, is it? This is not the view I want. We're going to go with this view. Trust me, it'll look better in a second. And we are going to jump right into this draft, and we are waiting. So I had a team thrown out the other day, which sucked. So we're in the draft now. So if you want to draft, jump in. We're waiting on 6. B. Kurt throwing up the Rockets. Don't worry, Ben. There are still 6 spots, 5 spots available. You can all jump in. We can draft together. Ooh, 3. If you want to get in, you better get in now. And 2. Castle Sports Talks, first draft with us. Welcome, welcome. He's Mr. Junior. Hopefully we can all draft some very fun teams. I have no plan going into this one. I know sometimes we like to try to do a zerorb or whatever. Plan is going to be let the draft come to me. And usually I have my draft hacker up, but I have been doing some stuff with my PC and I need to adjust for that. And we get the 1-on-1. Not my favorite spot. We got Moxie in the draft. I see him. Mr. Junior's got the 5 spot. Ben over in the 9. See if we got anyone else here. So we're going to get fun with it, I think. I don't think I'm taking CMC. I think we're doing a hard fade of CMC in the big board. I think we're going to take some stands on some of these first round guys. And you know what? We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with this draft. I'm going to move somebody way up. Generally, I would take Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase here, move those guys up at the 101. But let's completely flip this draft. Let's completely flip this build. Let me move into frame as we get ready. I'm going to have to dodge and weave some of these comments that come in. But we're going to take Bijan at the 101 and see what kind of team we can build with Bijan coming at the 101. So we see CMC go right afterwards. I need to adjust my setup. The problem is for me right now, I'm traveling so much. I'm going to New York again tomorrow. I have to break down my microphone and webcam and bring all that stuff with me. So I haven't really gotten a fluid streaming setup since I moved my entire setup over here, which I like better. But we're going to be working out the kinks over the next month on how my setup looks, how we do this draft. Oh, with one person, that does not look as good, does it? All right, let's edit this layout a little bit. Let's move me here. And then we'll go into the draft board. I can't have this over here. See, working out the kinks, everybody. Better if I have you guys on this stream here. So there we go. As I continue to move around to try to make sure that I am looking at everybody on camera. So, yep, we went Bijan, Castle. I see the laughing face, but we did explain the Bijan pick the other day. We don't just always do the 101 thing here to draft the same teams. I have a big Bijan stand that is subject to change, especially if Fields goes there. If Kirk Cousins goes there, Bijan at the 101, I think, is going to be something I do all summer. But if Fields goes there, I'm going to adjust that take a little bit. But for now, we're going to roll with it. And this allows us to get the complete unique, just completely different Bijan teams than everybody else. He's usually going at the back end of the first round. So his common pairing partners are going to be these guys around here, right? Nico, Jonathan Taylor, Kyron, Brendan Ayuk. So our pairing partners for Bijan at the 101 are going to be completely different. And we're going to see what we can build through that. Generally, I like to hero RB it, but we'll see who's available when it gets to our pick and go from there. All right. So this really depends which monitor I have you guys on. So we're coming back up on the clock. We see Josh Allen. We see Saquon, Debo. We see Diggs. Tank Dell's there. Michael Pittman. Let's do this. Let's do Josh Allen. And God, it's not my favorite thing to do, but let's do Diggs as a stacking partner. We'll get this Buffalo stack, parentheses, see what happens with Diggs this offseason. And we'll start Bijan, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs for our team. I don't think you're going to see a lot of Bijan with Allen and Steph Diggs in this particular tournament at this moment. So really enjoy this. Anything else fun going on in this draft? See that CMC team that went 102, go with Mike Evans and DK Metcalf. Mike Evans, the cover boy of the stream today. Just find his situation very unique. People thought it was almost like a lock that he was going back to the Bucks. I never personally thought so. This is essentially his last contract, right? Like his last big contract that he's going to be able to get. So I don't see why he wouldn't test the free agent market. Doesn't mean he doesn't go back to Tampa, but I think he's going to take the best deal that he can get. I mean, just because we want him to play for a contender doesn't mean he will. DeAndre Hopkins, right? DeAndre Hopkins took the best deals that he could get in the open market. So depends on a player's motivations. And I don't blame a player that wants to get paid. Never. Shout out to Jesse Wilkins for all the music that we'll be playing on today's stream. Allows us to not use just the stock music. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Plenty do. But I'd personally rather do... I always like to be a little different when we're doing streams. So, yeah, Sunday streams is when it's just me. We play music, we talk, we have fun. Who is from New York? Somebody tell me what I can eat, where I can eat around Liberty, New York. That is where I will be this week. So, never been there. Had been going around the Albany line, up in that area, but now I'm going to be going over there. Jalen Hurts falling to the 4th round. I'm not going to have a lot of Josh Allen teams. Don't even hate him, but I really like taking like the Hurts, Lamar, Mahomes range of quarterbacks when I go elite, which is more frequently than others. Do you draft your early round fades if they fall A+ picks, Saquon, for example? So Saquon's probably an example for you and a lot of others. Saquon's not an example for me. I actually like Saquon a lot this year. He was one of the guys I almost just took at that 2-3 turn. But if I have a hard fade on somebody, them falling 8 spots doesn't matter to me. If I'm looking at hard fading somebody, I'm just getting rid of them. So like Eckler, when he was falling in these drafts, I wasn't grabbing him because I had a hard fade at his current spot. If he's falling multiple rounds, then maybe. But I'm just not doing it generally. We are up on the clock here in a second. We're looking at... It just gets rough already, doesn't it? So we see Mahomes go there, which is totally fine. We have already taken our quarterback that we want. Well, Jaden Reed in the 4th and 5th feels so rich, right? Let's grab Jaden Reed. Do I want to go Trey McBride here? I think the options here are we can go Trey McBride, we can go James Cook. Let's take Cook. Let's just build out this Buffalo thing. We really saw him coming on later in the season. So we'll go Allen, Bijan, James Cook, Stephon Diggs, Jaden Reed. And see what we can build through there. So yeah, that's in terms of players falling, that's where I'm at with that. And I do see the quarterback talk happening, and I am kind of like the quarterback guy in the space. And we're going to be monitoring this, and I actually want to start running some numbers on certain things. But I see the quarterback thing sort of crunching, where some of the earlier picks are moving down 2 rounds or a round or 2. Some of the other guys are elevating up, so it's like, what do we do with that this year? And what I will say, here's my big thing for best ball coming up this year. We'll probably talk about some of it, but anyone that is only touting historical data in terms of best ball picks and drafts and everything, be very wary of those numbers, because as we see positional changes happen every year, we've seen a massive overhaul in how running backs have been drafted in the last 3 years. We see quarterback swings every year where quarterbacks weren't being taken till 2 years ago, generally the 4th or 5th round, with the exception, I believe Josh Allen was going maybe 2nd or 3rd in that drafts that year, with a lot of value in the back end. And we saw last year where some of the elites got pushed up and you still had some value in the back end. This year for quarterbacks, as it stands, subject to change, it's March 3rd. A lot of that value has been pushed up. Some of the elites have been pushed down. So you're getting this crunch. And how do you draft under that? I'm not telling you how to yet. I'm still trying to evaluate what I like. That tells me I want some of the bigger name quarterbacks that are capable of just monster games. If we're going to be giving up the value, right? I already liked Elite last year, so I'm going to like it even more this year under these circumstances. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm going to be looking at not just historical data, but like what the historical data compares to this year, right? In terms of that position, particularly. And you can do it for running back as well. Wide receiver, we're already feeling the strain. I just took Jaden Reed in the 4th, and I like Jaden Reed, but Jesus, man. Like 4th round Jaden Reed. That's a bit tough. Not that I don't like him, it's just what is going on in Green Bay, as we'll be talking about all year. I mean, if you could unlock the Green Bay wide receiver position this year, you have such a leg up on everybody, it feels like. If you could just be slightly overweight on the right guy or two, wouldn't hate it. Would not hate it. Let's move on to this. Excuse me. Oh, and we have our coffee. Another thing we do on Sunday mornings. Oh, look at that. I even placed it perfectly. It's almost like I'm doing this for like 3 months now. Look at that perfect placement. Do Mary Lou's here in New England. Who's my elite quarterback cutoff? I mean, right now it's the Lamar Mahomes line, right? I love Stroud. I like Richardson decent enough, but I think they're just such a tier above. And when you see them going this close to Stroud and Richardson, and Joe Burrow going in the 6 right there, like, I just. All right, we're back on the clock here. Let's take a look. Let's see what we got. Wow. All stuff that we do not like. Let's. God damn. Let's pull up Troy Franklin, I guess. Jesus. This is gross, guys. And this is sort of the problem with taking a draft the way that we've taken it. You get some really, really gross picks here when we're trying to get wide receivers and stuff. You know what we're going to do, though? We're going to take Ramondre. And this is just going to be such a different team for us. Can't imagine we'll be doing this too often. But we'll take Troy Franklin. We'll take Ramondre. And we'll see what we can build through this. Shout out to Mary Lou's Coffee. They're here in Boston too. Well, I am technically 30 minutes south of Boston. So that's where I am. Mary Lou's is generally only Boston and South Shore. So shout out to the South Shore of Massachusetts. That's where I am. But that's where we get coffee on Sunday mornings for this stream generally. Occasionally, especially in the summer, you might see me with a refresher instead. A nice strawberry green tea refresher, or in the summer, a strawberry lemonade refresher. It's beautiful. Everyone guessing where I live. Let's tie it in to Hometown Ghost Stories. I live in the Bridgewater Triangle. So if you know of the Bridgewater Triangle, I live in the Bridgewater Triangle, where we get very spooky. Is it just me, or is this year's draft the most interesting we've had in a long time? I think that depends on what interests you. And that's such a cop out answer. But I think if you're interested in wide receivers, which a lot of us are, yeah, it's one of the most interesting drafts in terms of wide receivers. It is loaded at the position, it feels like. I think quarterbacks are getting overhyped in this draft, personally. I mean, maybe Caleb's as good as everybody says, but it feels like we're overhyping some of these other guys and they're getting moved up to draft spots that they just probably shouldn't be in my opinion. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know. And in terms of running backs, I mean, are you excited about any of the running backs? Are we up? I mean, we had two that we were actually excited about last year. You know what I mean? So I think it's interesting in the aspect that things are getting overhyped. I think the Justin Fields trade situation makes the draft exciting. I think it adds all of that mystery. But I don't know. I think it's interesting just based on the wide receiver and some of the moves we're going to see in terms of, I mean, what is Chicago going to do with Fields? Where is he going to go? Atlanta was a strong thing, and then you start reading more and more that Atlanta's actually looking at Kirk Cousins. So interesting stuff. And here's where I can kind of highlight this quarterback thing. I love Jordan Love. Justin Fields, we don't even know what's going on with him. Dak Prescott is fine. But I like Lamar. I like Mahomes. I like Hurts in that 4th round range instead of taking, you know, and I mean, they double tapped quarterback, but Jordan, if they didn't, Jordan Love in the 8th, like Jordan Love. I'll have Jordan Love teams, but like if I had to draft one team and I could only draft one team, then I'd probably go elite quarterback. And you'll see something like that probably this year because I'm planning on doing another Mastiff draft. You know, put a big star on that because I want to see if they change the format or not. I personally like the format for the Mastiff last year, so others didn't. We'll see if they decide to change it. If they do, I might not do it, but it's March and we don't have to worry about that quite yet. Let's start looking at what's on board here, and it gets gross. It gets quite gross here. I think what we're gonna do, because we really need some wideouts, we're gonna take downs. Ugh. Yeah. There's no one I really want to pull up too much, so we're gonna take Josh Downs, and let's kick the tires on Cortland Sutton. I actually liked watching Cortland Sutton last year. I think that we can build a good wide receiver room this way. So right now we have Josh Allen, Bijan Robinson, James Cook, Ramondre Stevenson, Steph Diggs, Jaden Reed, Troy Franklin, Josh Downs, and Cortland Sutton. Don't hate it at the moment. Feels different enough. As you can see, we're sort of punting one of the positions. So Omega's been drafting Justin Jefferson at the 101 up to 25%. That's not a take that I hate. That is a situation that I am going to be fluid on. I'm already moving Jefferson up. I'm going to be moving Chase up. I'm obviously moving Bijan up for now. This is sort of the way I'm drafting in this particular tournament at the moment. I'm not sure it'll carry over. Everything is fluid at the moment. But I just like these players a little bit more. I like their ceilings a little bit more than, it's so tough to say, than CD or Tyreek Hill. But because no one has a ceiling like Tyreek Hill when he's Tyreek Hill. But, Tyreek Hill is going to be, he just turned 30. We know speed's a big part of his game. Has unmatched speed for the most part. Still had it last year. Doesn't mean that he won't have it this year, but I think I'd just rather bet on Jefferson or Chase this year over Tyreek Hill. We do need to see what Minnesota does with their team. So Michael opens a pack of cards sometimes before he drafts, and if he likes a player in the pack, he'll reach. That's fine. I mean, like, hey, if we're introducing randomness, sure. Where are we reaching, though? Are we reaching back ends of drafts? Are we reaching front ends? The only thing I hate about StreamYard music is it just loops the song you're playing. And I eventually would like them to, this is me, I guess, just being overly picky and just, as someone who does some production work on different things, I would like to be able to set up like a 5 or 6 song rotational playlist that fades in and out so that we're not doing these hard cuts. My best friend, the guy who makes all this music, was a DJ for a very long time. And talk about that in a second. Do we want to go full blown Buffalo here? Let's take one more Buffalo Bill and let's take let's take Caleb. Be done at QB. So what I was going to say about DJing is it's tough for me to go out to bars now because my best friend was a DJ for so long, and I have become a snob when I hear a DJ. And when they're crossfading songs, 90% of them are freaking awful. Just so bad. Just so bad. And I just don't understand how they're working. We went to Austin 2 weeks ago, and I went up to a DJ because he was actually really good and thanked him for being good because I had heard some of the worst DJing ever. So that's Snob Rob. Snob Rob comes out sometimes, certain things, right? Snob Rob will come out about DJs. Bad ghost tours. Had a bad ghost tour in Austin, Texas. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was possible to go on a bad ghost tour. We went on a bad ghost tour in Boston, and in Austin, Texas a few weeks ago. So Snob Rob came out there, very annoyed. And what else does Snob Rob come out on? Food, certain food, just pizza, for sure. Don't come at me and tell me that deep dish Chicago pizza is the best pizza because you are wrong. In fact, unless you're in New England or New York, you can't claim to have the best pizza at all because all pizza everywhere else in the country is inferior. I've come around a little bit on seafood. People had me try shrimp cocktail in Indianapolis, which made me raise an eyebrow because I live in New England right on the water, and I usually don't get seafood unless I'm on a coast. But shout out to the people in our Discord that told me to go get St. Elmo's shrimp cocktail because was that a treat? What a treat that was. So our Discord, hop in it. You can talk about best ball. You can talk about food. You can share pictures of pets. It's a great community Discord. So make sure you're over in the Spike Week Discord. So Benjamin says it's not really pizza in Chicago. It's like a lasagna. I like both, but I don't compare New York pizza to Chicago pizza like it's the same thing. I'm going to steal something from Jon Stewart. In Chicago, they call it Chicago style pizza. In New York, they call it pizza. So that's all you need to know, right? That's all you need to know. And we will be having plenty of food debates these next 6 months before the NFL season kicks off. It's part of the brand, baby. Me, Eric, we get our food takes out there. Sometimes you guys like them. Sometimes we talk about soup for entirely too long. So we'll be drafting. We'll be talking about teams. We'll run over our team another time here after we make our next 2 picks coming up on the clock. We are all done at QB as it happens. We see Ladd McConkey going in the 10th round. I was wondering where he was going to go. He had a pretty good combine. All right. We are on the clock. We have a 2-3-6-0 build at the moment. I want to start taking some rookies, but I also want to start. Let's grab Michael Mayer as our first tight end. And grab Robin Wilson as well. Get another wide out here. So our team as it stands: Josh Allen, Caleb Williams, Bijan, James Cook, Ramondre Stevenson, Steph Diggs, Jaden Reed, Troy Franklin, Josh Downs, Cortland Sutton, Khalil Shakur, Roman Wilson, Michael Mayer. So that's where we're at the moment with our team. Castle's going to go with his first 5 RB team this year. Definitely something I could be doing here too with the 3 that I drafted, but we do have these extra 2 rounds, so we'll see how it goes here. Michael is Team Pro Soup, which is unfortunate for you. I'm sorry. So sorry that you're Team Pro Soup. I'm sorry that your taste buds are inferior to mine and even Eric Binefor's, who has some very bad food takes. Doesn't like toppings on donuts. Like, what are you eating, Eric, for a donut? Are you eating a plain donut that no one's actually enjoyed since the Great Depression? Eric Binefor, a lover of Great Depression donuts. So let him know I said that. So this is actually the mistake we're probably making right here is not pulling up rookie wide receivers enough in this draft, right? Which is something we should be doing with this build. We should be, when we took that much capital in our running backs, we should be pulling them way up. We should be pulling the rookies way up is what I would say. Castle Sports Talk loves old-fashioned donuts. I'm sorry that your taste buds are also just incorrect. I can find some doctors for you people that like terrible food and see if we can address that situation in the future. I'm sorry that you like boring food. I'm excited we're back doing these on Sunday. Usually it's 1 draft, depends on the day. Sometimes we knock out 2. Today's only a 1 draft day. I have a 10-minute video, which doesn't sound like long, but creating a 10-minute video for audio takes quite a bit of time. Michael is saying that Louisiana food is greater than Massel food. funny enough, I was born up here, but I grew up on the coast of Mississippi from ages 8 to 15. I'm actually going to Louisiana in September for the first time in a while. And I would say that this is context-based. Louisiana food is greater than masshole food in terms of what? In terms of soul food? Yes. In terms of barbecue? Of course, Louisiana is better. Seafood? No. I know you're going to argue it, but it is incorrect. I know what I would like here. And we don't get an estimate goes. That's who I wanted to take in this particular spot. Alas, it does not happen. Why Darren Waller is even at this high in draft boards, I'll never understand. Let's grab Marshawn Lloyd for an RB. Let's grab Isaiah Likely as well. I know that. I don't know, man. I just feel like Isaiah Likely should have more standalone value this year. I thought so last year. It didn't really hit until Andrews got hurt, but dude is a beast. So let's grab those two. So grab more wideouts after. Let's keep the draft board up. Estrada likes Lloyd a little more since he killed the combine. Yeah, man, this is when you're going to start seeing these guys shoot up boards because they get some combine numbers. Combine's fun, by the way. Players just saying that they don't believe in space. If this is what the combine is going forward, sign me up. If these are the takes that I get to hear, that space isn't real, that's fun. In fact, that's all I want to know. Who believes in space? Who doesn't? Let me know which recruits or which prospects believe in flat Earth theory. That's fun. I like the one who said that he knows he wouldn't be able to fly a plane. Good for him for knowing his limitations. I didn't even see your comment, Michael, until I started talking about that. That's right, B. Kurt. Make sure to like the stream. Make sure to subscribe to Spike Week, as a lot of things fun planned going forward. You get your drafts, you get your talk, you get myself, you get Eric Ifor, you get guests, you get legendary sickos. I mean, and it's free. You don't have to pay anything to hit the subscribe button. That's all you have to do. Hit the subscribe button. Why do I think Neighbors passed on his measurements? I think if you guys want my honest take on this stuff, where players are passing on measurements and drills and stuff, I wouldn't be shocked if in 5 to 10 years the combine peters out completely and we see more pro day stuff happening, right? Like, I think the pro day is I think you're starting to see players tilt a little more to pro day stuff. So I think that's part of it. Or they're going to have to retool the combine completely and not do pro days. I don't know. I think you're going to see a big evolution of this because of how much people are starting to, oh my God, I forgot about this one. Because of how much people are starting to not do drills, not do measurables, I think the Caleb thing is going to be the big swing with the medical stuff, right? Like, because now we're entering a new territory. So, and it's a follower. It's a trend following situation where other players will be like, well, you know what? If Caleb Williams didn't do it, I'm not going to do it. So be prepared for huge alterations in that going forward. All right, we are back on the clock. Hmm. Do we love anything? No. I do, as an eighth wide receiver, don't mind taking Jalen Hyatt. So let's do that. Then we're going to do a little bit of crying as we try to figure out what to do with our next pick. Sad day. RIP to Damian Pierce. Jesus. Yeah, we'll take Will Shipley. I think that we can just take some dart throws on rookie RBs for sure with that start of Bijan, James Cook, and Ramondre, and just try to hit on some huge upside guys. We have 3 picks left in this draft. I'm for it. Let's do it. Any opinions on the QB situation in New Orleans? I mean, in terms of why is Derek Carr going to start? Because he's going to. So I don't think you're getting out of that situation. The Saints have hamstrung themselves over the years. They continue to do it with the salary cap. And, you know, the cap is crap stuff is legit until you do what the Saints do. And they're not able to build the road. So they're kind of stuck with playing Derek Carr unless he's just absolutely atrocious. And he dipped into that territory last year. So we'll see. But you're stuck with Derek Carr to start the year at least. Let's go into the actual Spike Week song. Russell Wilson going in the 17th round. Bryce Young right after him. What will the G-men do at 6? I mean, hopefully draft an entire new team. Jesus Christ, because that team has done nothing that I like in the last 3 years since hiring Dayball. I just, I mean, Saquon's walking at this point, right? You're stuck with Daniel Jones at QB. I mean, it doesn't feel like they're improving year over year. Like, it just feels like they're almost the same team. Al's saying they're going to take an offensive tackle they need badly. I just feel like they need everything badly. I mean, that's being facetious, but Jesus Christ, what is that team doing? What are the G-men doing? Secretly, I love it because I hate the New York Giants, personally. We've talked about fandom a little bit. I grew up a Patriots and an Eagles fan. Fandom has kind of waned for specific teams over the year. I will still root for the Patriots. I will still root for the Eagles. But my hatred for certain teams just doesn't go away. I root for certain players. I root for Mahomes. I like to watch greatness. It's fun. But I hate the Giants. I hate the Cowboys. I despise the Jets. Although there's players that I really like on the Jets. That makes it a little bit interesting. I love Garrett Wilson. Right, love Breece Hall. Sauce Gardner's so much fun. Anything interesting happening here? Seeing Rico Dowdle go in the 18th, which is fine, but they definitely bring somebody in. For sure. I've heard speculation on Saquon. My brain just goes to Saquon's going to Houston, but if he goes to Dallas, that's fine too. We got to figure out what me and buying for his bet's going to be on Saquon. Oh, didn't realize how ugly tight end got because I hadn't been pushing tight end so much. But boy, is this ugly. Let's grab Dylan Lobb and I can't stand the Panthers, but I do think I want to take a shot here and there on second-year Jonathan Mingo. It did seem like they were trying to get him involved at some point. So I think 19th round for Mingo is fine on this team. And then we got one pick left. We'll take a peek at it at that point. Are we doing another? I cannot do another today. I have to edit a 10-minute video for Hometown Ghost Stories, which will take a few hours. I have to pack and get ready to leave at 6 in the morning tomorrow. I have to walk Gotham. Gotham needs his walk today as well. So just a little bit too tied up to do a second one. Occasionally, we will be doing more than one. I have something very fun planned for this summer as well. I don't know if it'll be a Sunday stream, perhaps, but doing something very, very particular that hasn't been done before. So be on the lookout for that. We have so many fun things planned this year. So many fun things planned. Doing things somewhat the same, but also somewhat different going forward here at Spike Week. All right. Let's go over our team. We'll wait till we get our last pick to go over our team. I mean, I think there were just some fun picks still in this back end. You know, we took Mingo, but Darius Slayton always finds a way to become relevant. We see Michael Thomas get drafted in the 19th round. Interesting. Couldn't be me. But 19th round? Sure. Why not? Noah Brown going in the 20th. I don't like 20 rounds on Underdog, by the way. I do like that they have that little unique 18 rounds to themselves. No one else does it. I know they only do it for the big board here, but I really wish Underdog would keep all their drafts to 18 rounds. Not a giant nitpick. It doesn't change my life. But not a hill I'm willing to die on. But I just slightly prefer their 18 round format. Het saying that best ball season has officially arrived with Sunday Sicko. I think so, man. I mean, if it wasn't officially here before the Super Bowl, they dropped the big board. Now that we're getting back to over the course of the next month, we're going to be getting back to but we're going to be instituting our weekly schedule. We are planning to do some sort of content every day. Some are live draft streams. Some are as simple as like a short video. Some are going to be pre-produced videos. I'm still working in the background on the schedule and everything, but we've got it pretty laid out, and I'm pretty excited for it, personally. But these are my favorite streams to do. Not that I dislike Eric or anything, but 10 a.m. Sunday morning, hop in, just vibe, draft. God, I hate saying vibe. We're going to create something where you are allowed to shock me with an electronic device whenever I say vibe. You're also going to be allowed to shock me with an electronic device whenever I draft Donald Parham Jr. in the 20th round. That's probably our one share of Donald Parham Jr. We had drafts thrown out, by the way. I've already had drafts thrown out, which is ridiculous. But let's go over our team here. Josh Allen, Caleb Williams at quarterback, Bijan Robinson, James Cook, Ramondre Stevenson, Marshawn Lloyd, Will Shipley, and Dylan Lobb as our running backs. Really like the way this running back room turned out. Wide receivers are Steph Diggs, Jaden Reed, Troy Franklin, Josh Downs, Cortland Sutton, Khalil Shakur, Roman Wilson, Jalen Hyatt, and Jonathan Mingo. Feels like a really good mix. Maybe I would have liked one more rookie in here somewhere, but I think it's a good mix of established guys and high upside guys like Jaden Reed, Josh Downs, Cortland Sutton, who I think can definitely hit our roster. I think he got undervalued last year with what he was doing. Khalil Shakur just completes that Buffalo stack a little bit more. Tight ends, Michael Mayer, Isaiah Likely, Donald Parham. Could be thin, but I do like the Mayer and Likely picks. Donald Parham is... we got to figure out what's going on in that whole situation there, but, I think there is a little bit of upside so far. So that is our draft for this particular tournament. Let's go ahead. Oh, look at that. Should have changed the view, huh? Should have changed the view before we did that. But we are wrapped up with this particular draft. We will be doing this pretty much every Sunday. What I can say is at the end of this month, there won't be a Sunday with me because I will be in Washington State. Next month, I have to go at the end of April to investigate the haunted Hinsdale house in New York on a Sunday. So I'll be missing that Sunday. But for the most part, we will be here on Sunday mornings doing drafts, whether it's on Underdog, DraftKings, whatever. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button on the way out. We'll catch you guys next time. And a lot of fun. Let's do it next week. Woo! Those were some spicy takes. Want to stay up to date with all of the other spicy takes we're going to have over here at Spike Week? Why don't you press that subscribe button below? You turn notifications on, we draft a team, boom, you know about it. We have another spicy take, boom, you know about it. You can be there. You can draft with us. You want to stay up to date? That's how you do it. All right, we'll catch you later next time here at Spike Week.